Hello guys, welcome back. We are going to go over the new KH Economy Datapack. This will work for all loaders, so it doesn't matter if you're on Fabric or if you're on Forge, Neo Forge, it doesn't matter. It works for all of them, vanilla as well. So doesn't matter your loader. Anyways, getting right into it, there is a lot to do with this data pack. It is a massive pack. It's took me hundreds of hours, a really long time to make it, and I've been working out bugs ever since. But right now we have it at a good point, and yeah, let's get right into it. I'm gonna break this down into sections. Let's go over the commands for players. So this will allow you guys to pay each other and everything first, just so you understand. Right now, I do not have the game. Or I don't have the data pack installed. If you see, I uninstalled it. So there's no objectives and there's no data pack. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit reload. So this is what it's going to look like for you guys if you guys just download the data pack and hit reload, and this is exactly what you guys are going to see. We're just going to start from scratch together. Okay, so the first thing it's going to do is kind of give you this nice overview of what to do. Just so you understand, pumpkins are not affected right now with the with this, but everything else should be right. And we're going to go through each one of these jobs to kind of show you how they work. Um, but yeah, anyways, let's say let's start with, well, before we get to the jobs, let's actually go over like how to pay people, how to get money. So if you hold the tab button, then you'll see your money and you'll see your social status. So right now I'm a peasant because I'm a new player, but that will change as you get more and more money. You will become a commoner or a noble or a royal, and then you can actually set up a lot of things with those different ranks in the future. Right now, I have $0. As you can see, the money is zero. That being said, we do have some diamonds over here, so we can deposit. I made it to where you can withdraw or deposit diamonds or emeralds, and that is so you can use this with many, many different shops and data packs and mods, because a lot of player shops, data packs, and mods let you use physical items. So essentially, this data pack, this economy, you can transfer your money into physical items. So let's say all the commands are going to be trigger commands for the most part, and it's going to show all these commands, but that's because I'm an admin. The regular players won't be able to see all these commands, or they shouldn't be able to see it, so that way it's just not as much clutter whenever you're playing. So right now we have deposit D and deposit E. D stands for diamonds, E stands for emeralds. And if we go to withdrawal, you have withdrawal D, withdrawal E. That's diamonds and emeralds as well. So right now we want it. We don't have any money. So for example, let's try to withdraw some diamonds. So if we withdraw, and you're always going to use the set for this. Let's say we withdraw 10 diamonds. It's going to tell you you don't have enough money. It's going to tell you how much money you need. So you need $1,000 in order to get 10 diamonds, because each diamond is worth 100, right? So now let's go and let's say we're going to deposit diamonds. Okay. Well, we have 64 diamonds in our inventory right now. Let's try to deposit too many diamonds. Let's try to deposit 100 diamonds. It's going to tell you you don't have enough, and it tell you exactly how many you do have. And this doesn't care if it's in a stack or not. It's just the total in your inventory, and you need 100 to deposit 100. So now let's deposit 10. So now that we deposit 10, you deposited 10 diamonds. It took 10 from our inventory, and it says we got $1,000. If we check it with tab, we do have $1,000. Now that we have money, we can use this to withdraw stuff. So we can withdraw, let's say, emeralds. Um, and we'll just use set, let's say 5 emeralds. So emeralds, we'll say 4, but so emeralds are $20 each. So if we withdraw 4 emeralds just like that, it was $80, and we withdrew 4 emeralds. It's yet again, if we told it, oh, I want to withdraw some crazy amount, it would say, oh, you can't withdraw 10,000 emeralds. You would need $200,000 to be able to do that. If you did have $200,000, it would give it to you. So, but yeah, so that is the withdraw and deposit commands with emeralds um, and diamonds. Now, there's also another one called pay. So you have the pay command. This is so you can pay the closest player to you within 5 blocks. So there needs to be a player within 5 blocks, and see, it says no players nearby to pay. But if there was a player nearby, it would choose the closest player to you within 5 blocks. And then you can use all it is trigger, pay, set, whatever the number is. And I think if you set it too high, it'll say insufficient funds. So it's going to tell you if you don't have enough. And if you do have enough, it's going to tell you if there's anybody nearby. And if there is someone nearby, it's going to pay that player. So that's how the pay function will work. And other than that, let's get right. That's pretty much all the functions. Now we're going to go through the different skill trees. So you start out as a worker, and workers have different skills that they can do. So for example, we'll go over a few. Let's say farming. You have a farming skill tree, and the more you farm, the more your XP for that skill tree will go up, and the more you will get paid. So the higher the level, the higher you get paid. Now there's another command we can go over real quick. It's trigger, and then it should be level check. So you can go level check, and it's going to tell you I'm farmer level 1, miner level 1, rancher, so on and so forth. The reason I just uninstalled and reinstalled it, so it reset everything. So this is like a freshly installed data pack. Now let's go over some of the farming. So first I'm going to remove something out of my inventory. Let's go to first, you're going to need to be in survival for this. And there are some game cheat or anti-cheat built in. So for example, let's say we wanted to break some if we broke some wheat, but we didn't pick up the wheat. So we broke it, but we didn't pick it up. Then we don't get paid. So for example, time set, um, and this is important. So 11,800 is where the pre-calculations happen, and then at 12,000, which is 10 seconds later, that is where the payment comes in. So you'll see we didn't do any work because we didn't pick them up. I'm not sure if it resets per day, but let's check this out real quick. So now that we have them picked up, let's see if that works. Yep, so we broke them and picked them up, so therefore we did get paid $4 each. Now, what happens if, for example, we just threw them back on the ground and then picked them up, threw them back on the ground, pick pick them up, and let's do time set 0, and just for giggles, we're going to throw them on the ground and pick them back up. And then now let's see if we get paid for that. Set 11,800. And this type of formula is going to be used on multiple occasions for this. So see, we didn't get paid, and the reason we didn't get paid is because we didn't break the blocks. It's very important to break the blocks. Now, here's another thing. What if, for example, what if we put seeds down like wheat and we broke the wheat, right? Well, then let's see if we get paid for that. And and we're almost done with farming, guys. I just wanted to go over the anti-cheat a little bit with you guys, so that way you guys would understand. So we did get paid, and I'm pretty sure the reason is because the wheat that we picked up earlier. So that is a bug, and we'll fix that later. But essentially, you have to break each one, and when yeah, so like I'll fix that bug later, but let's keep going. So essentially, you have to break the blocks and pick them up. You have to do both. It's not perfect, but it is. How can I say this? It's the best I've thought of so far. I will try to improve on the anti cheat a little bit later, but essentially, you just have to break things and pick it up, break things, and then pick it up, and then you will get paid for that. And I'm just going to go ahead and redo the pay just so that way I can reset everything. And yeah, try to. All right, there we go. We got all of that. Now we can start with a new day. Oh, whoops. All right. Now that we got farming over, so that's basically how the farming works. Now, how the ranch works is a little different. So eggs don't count quite yet. I'm still trying to figure out an anti-exploit for the eggs, but just like you had to break the blocks and pick up the items, you then have to kill the animal and pick up the item if you want to get their drops. Now, items like rabbits have three drops, three different drops. I think it's hide, meat, and rabbit's foot. All three of them give you three different types of things, so they're not all the same. Same thing with goats. Goats can give you horns or mutton, and same thing. You have to kill them, and then you have to pick them up. Now, sheep is a little different because you can shear sheep, and every single colored sheep in the game is calculated with the shears. So if you shear the sheep, then you pick up the wool, it will pay you. Now, here's another thing. If you make an automatic farm for your crops or for your animals, since you did not break the blocks or you did not pick them up, because let's say they go into a hopper or a chest, you do not get paid. You have to do all the physical labor if you want to get paid from the system. That being said, you can make automatic farms and then use the pay feature and sell them to players. You can, it's a very, you can make any shop or sell that you want with any players. Or if you have player shops with a different mod or data pack that creates shops in your world, you could probably use this with those different shops. Let's go over here to, why don't we do lumberjack now? So, okay, so we went over rancher, we went over farmer. So lumberjack is you have to break the tree like this, and then you have to go over here, and then you have to make the, let's just make them all right here. Oh, whoops, did I do something wrong? There we go. Okay, so then you have to make the planks. And then if we go to the end of the day like we did before, at the end of the day, you should get lumberjack pay. And every day when the sun goes down, all the players get paid. So yeah, all the players get paid, and the set taxes paid is 5%, but it does round down. So if it's like 0.9, I'm pretty sure it'll just round to zero. So you don't actually start paying taxes until $20. But we're going to go over how administrators can, edit that, and balance their economy however they choose. But anyway, so that's how lumberjack works. You have to destroy the tree, and then craft the planks. Now you could destroy any tree and then make any planks except for bamboo. Bamboo doesn't count, because you can make automatic farms for bamboo. But you do have to break any type of log, and then you got to make any type of planks, even if they're not the same tree. Now let's go over, let's say, mining. So just like mining basically works exactly like crops, for example. And if you, the way mining works is if you let's say mine, and these are all the ores that you can mine, which is most of the ores in the game, honestly. It's like pretty much all of them, except for like ancient debris. But the problem is ancient debris gives you itself. So if you break it and then place it, break it, place it, break it, place it, like you'll get infinite money. So therefore I took it out. That being said, if you have a silk touch pickaxe, right, then and you break something and then you place it and you break it, you place it, then it doesn't really matter because you're not picking up the item. And what I'm going to do before this gets uploaded is I'm going to make it where if it's already where if you drop an item, it resets it. But I'm going to make it where if you place an item down, it's going to reset as well for broken items. That'll make it even harder to do anything about it. Other than that, let's say if we go over here and we break the ores, let's just break a few and we pick them up. And let's just reset our timer. So we reset to a new day. Let's see if we get paid. And we should get paid and get our XP. So this is going to be for mining. So yep, we got our pay, we got our XP, the mining workload, and like I said, admins, you'll be able to change the pay scales for anything that you like. So that way, if you think one is more OP than the other, it's fine. You can adjust it for your world. Now let's go to cooking. Okay, so cooking works a little different. It's a little bit more dynamic, I guess. So these items right here are very easily obtained, specifically these two, but you have to make 16 breads to equal one pay, or one type of rewards. So for example, if you make 16 breads, it counts for one. If you cook meat, it counts for one every time you cook it. So if you cook, one beef or something like that, it'll count as one. Now you can combine this by the rancher because the rancher gets paid. Oh, I'm sorry. The rancher also gets paid for breeding. So if you breed any of these animals or if you kill them, you get money that way as well. But then if you kill them and get the food and then you cook it, then you'll get the cooking money as well. So, anyways, so these you need 16 of each of these to equal one payment. So these are level 0 foods. These are level 1 foods. So any one of these that you make gives you 1 XP, 1 pay. And then these are level 2. So these are any one of these that you make, it gives you 2 XP, 2 pay. And it calculates, I know that cookies, if you make one cookie, it actually crafts 8, for example. If it calculates that in for the 8 cookies that you craft, the one time you craft it, it's only going to give you 2 XP to $2. Same thing with honey, because you make 4 at a time. These are level 3, so it's level 0, 1, 2, 3, and then at level 3, these give you 3 XP and 3 money. And then you have your level 4, and this will give you 4 XP and 4 money when you craft it. And just so we can see how that works, let's choose a food. I'm just going to do honey bottles right here. So we made 8 honey bottles. So that's 2 crafting events. So we should get paid $6. I'm pretty sure. So if we do times set 11,800. We're just gonna, there we go. Yep, and $6. So just by cooking, so since that's a level 3 item, it gives you 3 per crafting event, and that was $6. So okay, that's that. The next thing is let's go over the blacksmith. So I know I'm running through these kind of quick, guys, but there's a lot to go over. Um, so if we go over, let's see, make armor and diamonds. Here we go. All right, so if we craft armor now, this is different. So whenever you craft for the blacksmith, he has this skill tree has an additional perk. So if you look at my levels, I'm 15 and a half. And then if we go ahead and set to 0, so you see levels is 15.5. And now we're going to get paid for blacksmithing, and it's actually, look at the levels increase. So the level just went up. So it was 15.5, now it's almost level 16. So you do get a little bit of levels, and then boom, you get paid. Now, the payment on this is a little different. So if you make, so blacksmith gets paid if they make iron, gold, diamond, or netherite, and depending on the type of equipment or tools they make, so it's any tool or any equipment. And depending on the equipment or the tools that they make, depends on how much money they get paid. Not like if you use diamonds, you get paid more than if you use iron, for example. Wood, however, does not count as a blacksmith because it's not a type of metal. So that maybe we'll make a future one like artisan or something. Let's go over fishing. So fishing is similar to farming, where you have to catch the fish and you have to, so just like that, we catch the fish. But you can't just throw them on the ground, if that makes sense. So like, let's say we do time set 11,800, just like that, and then we'll see what it gives us. So I'm pretty sure these are both worth 1 each, so that should be $2 that we get. And like I said, you can upgrade these. We're fishing level 1. If you can go all the way to fishing level 10, and you can check your levels with the level check we went over in the beginning of the video. But yeah, so that's essentially how fishing works. And just to go over this real quick, whoops, I did not mean to drop the diamond. So if we just drop these real quick, just to show you guys, it's a little harder um, to cheat. So now we dropped them, we picked them back up, and it should be no pay because we didn't. We need to actually fish for them. So no pay, and yeah, and then the objective repair progress is just a thing that I added. So that way, if there's any bugs in the game, it's going to check it at the end of every day and it's going to fix it. All right, guys, let's go over the hunt. Yeah, I had some terrible tragedies here, but anyways, let's go over the hunt skill tree real quick. And I want to show you guys, this is a little mob farm I made. I'm gonna speed it up a little bit, and there's quite a bit of skeletons here. I don't know how many. There's a lot, but let's kill all these skeletons and see how much it gives us. Now there's a little bit of anti-cheat here, so if you have like mob farms like this, it's basically gonna be like, no, you're cheating, and it's not gonna pay you. Now, granted, you might get a little out of it, but you're definitely not gonna get. It's not worth it. Put it that way. It's just not worth um, doing the mob farm. So let's give me 1 second. Let's see how much it gives you. All right, so we killed, I don't know how many skeletons there, like maybe, I don't know, 25, 30. So we should be getting 30. Let's go to, so this is your hunt. This is how many points you're going to get. We get 1. So out of killing 30 skeletons, you only get 1. So just to prove that, if we go to time set 11,800, so that way we can process the nightly payment, which while we're doing this, I'm just going to eat some melons. See, we got $2 for killing 1 hunt. Now, let's say we do, instead of doing it that way, let's say we actually played legitimately, and let's say we found one in the wild and we killed it. Well, if we look at your hunt, you now have 1. And then let's say we found 2 more in the wild and you're trying to kill them. So I go kill him. I kill him. Okay, cool. Now our hunt is 2, which should be 3, but we probably killed them too quickly. So there's 1. Spawn another one in. There's 2. Yep, and we got 2 more. So basically in the wild, it might be a little buggy, but for the most part in the wild, you should be getting every single kill that you do. Now, I did add and update the hunting. I don't think we're missing any of the mobs. I think every single hostile mob in the game, because I added like 12 more, I think, on top of what we already had. So I know almost every single hostile mob you can think of, you're going to get XP and money from it, no matter what it is. The stronger it is, the more XP, the more money you get. I'll leave it in the description of the mod pack. So if you go to Modaranth or Curse Forge and you find the mod, which the link in the description will be down below, you can read through the description, and I will uh, put all the different mobs and what the loot drops that they give you, but there's like 30 different mobs, so it's kind of a lot to go over. And the way that you become, there's 2 commands that you would need to know. So the first command is the trigger. So if you're going to trigger and you're going to set or remove the treasure, right? No, I'm sorry. I said realtor, but I mean treasure. Like, we need to go over the treasure. We're going to do realtor in a separate video. But so to set a treasure, you need to go to the trigger command. These commands are only allowed for players with the op tag. So if you don't have the op tag, you need to do tag, your name, add, and then op. And then I already have the op tag, so it says you already have it. But just know that you need to run this command and make sure you have it in order to activate the trigger. So, for example, we'll do trigger set treasure, and then trigger it. So it doesn't do anything right now, and I'll make sure it tells you guys that it doesn't do anything. But that being said, um, essentially a player needs to be close by in order for them to get treasure. Now, to make yourself treasure, that's different. So you're going to go to function, and then you're going to go to economy. That everything that we have is under economy, and then from there you can it goes different things. Now, you don't usually have to do too many functions, so you won't see this huge list. And this is only for admins, so functions cannot be ran by normal players. So you're going to go to economy, jobs, treasure, and then you're going to say make me treasure. And when you run this, it's going to make you a treasurer. And then when you're a treasurer, you're going to get certain benefits. One is you get a flat rate pay of $100 every day, and that will increase in scale depending on how many days that you play. But this also gives you a ton of admin privileges over the data pack. So, for example, let's say the lumberjack was getting too much money. So you want to nerf the lumberjack. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to trigger, and we'll type in set, and you can see these multipliers here. So you got blacksmith, cook, farmer, fisher, hunter, lumber, miner, rancher, and a few other things. So what we're going to do is we're going to set, let's say, the lumber multiplier, and we're going to hit set and then a value. Now, default is 100. This is a percentage based value. So that means 100 is 100%. So it's going to multiply it by 1. If you put it at 1,000, it's going to multiply it by 1,000. Um, Now, you can also put it at, let's say they're making too much money, so we put it at 50. This means they're going to get 50%. They're going to get half of what they normally do. So let's do that. So lumber multiplier set to 50%. Now if we go over here, for example, and start breaking this tree, we're going to get half of what we did earlier. And so we need to craft the lumber. We're just going to craft everything we can, if it'll let me. Okay. And then we'll do times set. There we go. And let's see what it shows us now. And like I said, you don't actually have to set the time every day when the sun goes down. So it gave us 7. So it did 14 lumber points, which means we were supposed to get $14, but we actually got 7. And if you look here as well, right here, it says 5% is how much taxes will be paid. Now, like I said, it rounds down. So right now, 5% of 7 is a decimal, and it rounded down to 0. But let's say we did, let's say we went back over here and put it 1,000%, which means that we're getting paid. Oh, that's actually a terrible idea. Let's do farmer instead. So we'll go to set farmer multiplier set, and we'll do 1,000. So that's 1,000%, which means it is 10 times more than you normally get. And then we'll go over here and just break everything. I'm just trying to get it to where it's more than 20 so you can see the taxes starting to kick in. So that's what we're trying to do here. All right. So now we can do time set 0 and go back up here and let's go get paid. Just takes a second. Okay, cool. So now that you see it's multiplied by 10, so usually we would get $21, but since it's multiplied by 10, we got $210. You paid $10 in taxes. So this is your gross pay, which means before taxes. This is your net pay, which means after taxes. So we actually only got paid $200. We didn't get paid $210, and then $10 went to the bank. Now this 5% can be set by a treasurer. So a treasurer will have the trigger where you can set the tax rate. And I think I'm going to add it to more than it. Right now it's between 1 and 20, but I'm going to make it between 1 and 99. By the time you see this video, this will all be fixed. So it'll be between 1 and 99 by the time you see it. But right now it's 1 to 20. So let's just put it 20. So this is so taxes changed to 20% by whoever, right? And now let's say, what is a good way to make money really quickly? Let's go craft some blacksmithing stuff. So I have no idea what I'm doing right now. Actually, let's do this. Boom. Make a bunch of, just a whole crap ton of helmets. And throw the fish. We don't need the fish. All right, now let's get paid. So time set 0, and then 11,800, and then watch the payment menu now should change, and it'll say 20% instead of 5%. So that way the players can see right here that they're paying 20% in taxes, which 20% of 36 is 7, and you actually only got paid 29. So you're going to be able to set the taxes. It's between, like I said, it's between 1 and 20 right now, but I'm going to make it between 1 and 99. So that way it gives you more free range. And the same thing, I'll do the same thing with the setting for the, let's see, the trigger setting for this right here. So this, when the multipliers for the jobs is between 1 and 1,000. I'm actually going to just make it be like 1 to 100,000, for example. I'll just make it something ridiculous, or I might not even. I just won't put a limit on it, so that way you guys can go wild with it. Anyways, so that is everything I can think of for the treasure. I'm just thinking real quick, what else can the treasure do? Oh, this is crazy. I literally almost forgot the most important thing with the treasure. So you can do spin city, or you can do deposit city. Now, so deposit city right here. Okay, so spin city is you can basically withdraw or deposit money from the city bank. Now, the city bank, if you look here, taxes paid 20% to city bank. That's how can we check to see how much money is in the city bank? We need a function for that. So function is, and all these will be in the description of the mod pack, so you can see them. You don't have to memorize all this stuff, and I'll probably make it even easier later. But so the mod function is check city bank, and we're going to check the city bank, and the city bank balance is total funds right now is 0. And let's just say uh, how can I put this? Let's say we want to deposit money to the bank. So deposit city, and let's say set 500. So we deposited to the city bank, and now we have 500 less dollars. And now let's check the city bank again. Now it has $500 in the city bank, but you can also withdraw money, and you would just type, instead of deposit city, you would just type in trigger and then spin city. So this is important, guys, because well, mainly for admins. And the reason it's important is because if you want people to work on your server, you can use how can I say this? You can use whoops. Well, that's not good. Anyways, you can use the money from the city bank in order to pay them. So that way the Citibank will generate money on its own. Now, I will say this: the money that the Citibank gets is taxes paid. So it's whatever the taxes are paid by the players multiplied by 5. So, for example, if the taxes are 20%, right? Then essentially 100% of the server, 100% of a player's money would go to the server or to the bank. Now, I noticed that it's not working right now, so I'll fix that before you even get on it the next time, or before this video is uploaded. But because it's going to be a simple fix. But essentially, whatever the taxes are set to, when it gets paid, so it gets paid $7, it's going to multiply that by 5 for every single player in the game. So if you have 20 players, whatever their total taxes paid is multiplied by 5 is then paid to the bank. And then that's how the bank gets money. And then you can buy and sell stuff with people on your server um, with that money. Now let's go. That's about it, guys. So that thank you for coming in, and yeah, I will just see you guys in the next one. Please let me know, give me some feedback on it. And I know I kind of rushed through this video a little bit, but I just didn't want it to be like a 2 hour long video. Anyways, I appreciate everything you guys do for me, and let me know if I can do anything for you guys and make it better. So I'll see you guys in the next one.